Another YouTube comment. Food for thought. Coming at you live. Keeping it real. November the 17th, 2015. Keeping it real. Food for thought. Another day has gone by, as I just said. 2015, November the 17th. Next week, Thanksgiving's coming up. And Thanksgiving is a joyful year. It's a joyful time of the year. But back in the day, Thanksgiving, most families got together and they had Thanksgiving dinner on a large scale. Almost 90% of Americans in the United States joined together to have Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, they say it's one of the largest traveling days in America because people join together and have Thanksgiving. Now, the traveling haven't stopped, but togetherness as Americans celebrating Thanksgiving, which we know, what Thanksgiving really is, the pilgrims, invited and started whatever. But as us, as United States American citizens and United States of America, we had this culture back in the day where Thanksgiving was a time for family to get together. Family to get together and socialize together. I'm not saying people aren't doing it, but it's nowhere near on the scale as it was back in the day where morals meant something. We have come upon in the United States of America where we really don't have any morals. There was this one, I watched Court TV, but there's this one Court TV show. It was called Moral Court. It didn't last long at all. It didn't last long at all because it was exposing us as individuals of not having moral code as a person towards another person. Morals. Look up the word morals. Morals is somewhat like, I wouldn't morally allow my child to come in my house with another opposite sex and sleep in the bedroom. Morally, that's wrong. You as a mother or a father would not allow your 14-year-old to come and bring another 14-year-old to sleep in the bedroom. So those are morally wrong things to happen. So we have got away from moral issues in the United States of America. And that's why we have become a destructive country. Because when you take away the moral ethnic background of being a culture, when you take away that moral code, back in the day, it was shameful, to have a child without a father or a child without being married. We shunned upon those type of issues years ago. I'm not saying that it was wrong, but we shunned upon that because of our moral ethnics. We have got away from morals as an individual. You're going to think to yourself, I don't want my child doing this. I don't want my child doing that. I don't want my child involved in this. I don't want my child to have that because of your moral code. And that's actually a substance of character. If you take away or lower your moral code, you're just going to lower your moral code. And that now it's okay, now because of the generation, the things going on, well, he could come over and hang out. No, that should never exist. That never existed before. Don't come 6 o'clock, you got to go. No, you could come and hang out and be on the computer hanging out and things happen. So we have diminished our moral code. Actually, I could say that we have no moral code in the United States of America. We have no moral code about nothing. We have no moral code of anything. As morals that existed years ago. I'm not pointing out anything specific, but we have gotten away from the moral code of character as an individual, as a family, as a group of people, as a country. We have gotten away from USA. Our moral code back then, take away all those years, but as far as growing upon from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and now in 2015, we have diminished our moral code. 60s, 70s, I mean, even in the 80s and 90s, you know, even though teenage pregnancy was on a large, but we didn't like accept it the way we accept it today. There are things that we accept today on a large scale that depreciates our moral code. We don't fight for the moral code anymore. We are just allow everything to happen because we have no moral code. Generally, we don't have no moral code in the characteristics of each other as a family, as a business person, as an individual. We have that moral code is gone. That moral code's gone. Bring back the moral code. Maybe it will change more than you think. Bring back the moral code. Because with a moral code, it brings back dignity and pride. And if we bring back that moral code, we will have more dignity and pride about the things that we are doing today as individuals, as people in power. We will bring back our own dignity and pride if you have a more structured moral code. And then things may change. That's part of the things that's happening in America. We have no moral code. But if you bring back your moral code, maybe you wouldn't be on Capitol Hill thinking that it's okay to do what you're doing. So let's bring back the moral code for justice and the USA symbol.